This is the Ohio State Reformatory. The history of the Ohio State Reformatory began in 1862. The field where the reformatory would be built was used for a training camp for Civil War soldiers. In 1867, Mansfield was promoted as a candidate for the placement of a new intermediate penitentiary, the original name before it was changed to Ohio State Reformatory. The city of Mansfield raised $10,000 to purchase 30 acres of land for the prison, and the state acquired another 150 acres of adjoining land for $20,000. The cost of the facility was $1,326,769. The Intermediate Penitentiary, later becoming the Ohio State Reformatory, was intended as just that, a halfway point between the Boys Industrial School in Lancaster and the State Penitentiary in Columbus, which was intended to house first-time young offenders. The construction began in 1886 and remained under construction until 1910 due to funding problems, which caused construction delays. The original architect for the design was Levi Scofield from Cleveland. On September 15, 1896, the reformatory opened its doors for the first 150 offenders. These prisoners were bought by train from Columbus and put immediately to work on the prison sewer system. The prisoners were also put to work on the 25-foot stone wall surrounding the complex. The Ohio Reformatory remained in full operation until December 1990, when it was closed because of a federal court order as a result of the prisoners' class action lawsuit citing overcrowding and inhumane conditions. The order said the prison should be closed by the end of December 1986. Although the closing date was moved to 1990 due to delays in construction of the new facility. Most of the grounds and the supporting buildings, including the outer wall, have been demolished since the closing. In 1995, the Mansfield Reformatory Preservation Society was formed. They have turned the prison into a museum and conducted tours to help fund the ground's rehabilitation projects. The East Cell Block remains the largest freestanding steel cell block in the world at 6 tiers high. This is one of them places that you have to go to really get the feel for it. The movies and the pictures just don't do it justice. If you're in Ohio, this is one of the places that I would put on the list to go see. These are some of the weapons that the prisoners have made over the life of the prison. During the 94 years that the Ohio State Reformatory was open, over 200 people died, including 2 guards who were killed during escape attempts. Of the first 150 inmates, their terms ranged anywhere from a year to 15 years. First 150 inmates, their convictions were for robbery, horse stealing, assault, pocket picking, grand larceny, forgery, Even though the reformatory was an intermediate prison, it had its share of death and violence. 2 correctional officers were killed in the line of duty on prison grounds. This happened on November 2nd, 1926, when a paroled inmate returned to the prison and shot 72-year-old prison guard Urban Wilford. This was an unsuccessful escape attempt. In a windowless room on the 3rd floor in the middle corridor, there is a bowed back wall. The room is empty except for one wooden chair. If you close your eyes, turn off your flashlight, you will be the blackest your eyes have ever seen. Remain still, silent. Something very weird may happen. Another dark day in the reformatory's history is July 21st, 1948. 2 former inmates, John West and Robert Daniels, kidnapped the prison's farm superintendent, his wife, and their 20-year-old daughter from their home on the Honor Farm. The pair then murdered the entire family in a cornfield off Fleming Falls Road. West and Daniels, known as the Mad Dogs, went on a 2-week crime spree, leaving 6 people dead. They were later found near the Van Welt, where a shootout resulted in the death of West and Daniels' capture. Daniel was later executed in the electric chair. In November 1950, the warden's wife was reaching into a closet looking for her jewelry box. When she removed the box, her hidden pistol fell on the ground, discharged, and fatally wounded her. The warden, a few years later, died of a heart attack in his office. The prison is said to be extremely haunted by both the people that work here as well as the inmates that serve their time here. You can find many stories about things that happen at the Ohio State Reformatory. Another one that happened is in an area known as a hole, or solitary confinement. 2 men were placed into the same cell. Only one emerged alive. The other had been killed and stuffed underneath the bunk. The prison was originally designed to hold 1 person per cell, but later on they would have 2 or 3 people to a cell. This is what the cells looked like when the inmates were here. The cells were originally designed for one person, where two were added, and sometimes three. Another thing about the prison is that in Shawshank Redemption, the prison was presented as having the cells face each other, where in reality they faced out away from each other. They managed this by building an exact replica in Mansfield of the cell block, and then all the scenes from the cell blocks were shot there. If you liked the video, how about giving it a thumbs up? And if you haven't subscribed yet, how about subscribing? And the notification bell there, if you hit it, will let you know when the next video comes out. Each cell at the Ohio State Reformatory measures 7 foot by 9 foot. The east cell block has 6 tiers, has 600 cells, and was housing approximately 1,200 inmates at a time. Sometimes that number would grow as they would have more than 2 people per cell. The west cell block, on the other hand, was only 5 tiers and had 350 cells, which sometimes held as many as 4 people. That place was hell, said prisoner number R143-483. Another prisoner, R147-169, said, "It's haunted. It was hell. Never fit for an animal." As you walk down through the cell block, you walk into one of the cells and you turn around and you get a feeling for what life inside of the Ohio State Reformatory was. Just remember, you know you're going to walk out shortly. They knew they were going to be here for years. This is one of the shower rooms. Imagine yourself walking in here to take a shower. As you walk through the cell block, an eerie feeling comes around you. You see the deterioration of the paint peeling off the walls, and you hear your footsteps, every footstep as you walk. This is the area where the butler would store the dishes and all for the formal dining room for the warden. This is the formal dining room for the warden. Well, that's the end of the video. If you haven't yet, how about giving the video a like? And if you haven't subscribed yet, how about subscribing? And hit the notification bell there so that you can get notified when the next video comes out. Thanks for watching.